So, I want to talk about the Gluttony boss fight. There's a way to make this fight easy right now. Still, you will need an ultimate Valby and her absolute zero skill module that attracts those impurities, or those orbs being dispensed in the fight that will prevent Gluttony from doing his squad wipe mechanic. But for the build, just aim for survivability with stacking health module. After that, stack a lot of skill cooldown module and pair it with MP and recovery. You can get this from the module, or even from your external components that have substats for both MP and also MP recovery modifier. Finally, give your build skill cost module to lower the MP consumption, allowing you to spam your first ability always. By the way, I only have focus on singular for the skill cooldown and nothing more. In the Gluttony boss fight, remember that your task is to take care of the impurities and ensure the boss is constantly consuming them. The skill cooldown and skill cost paired with MP modules will allow you to spam your first ability, and all you need to do is guide the impurities to the boss. In phase 1, there will be a dispenser in front, and you can use this to fire projectiles and guide those impurities. After the rage phase, the dispensary will be further away, and what I usually do is when impurities spawn, I shoot a projectile into the air, aiming toward the boss. I then continue doing this after 3 sets of impurities, and then I just guide them to Gluttony. In terms of survivability, Gluttony will deal massive damage that even stacking 20,000 health will not help your ultimate Valby. It's best that you avoid all attacks of the boss. Anyway, the attacks of this boss are not as crazy as other boss fights wherein it feels like you are playing a bullet hell game. They can easily be evaded by dodging or using your grapple. The most dangerous attack of Gluttony is the time wherein he charges his gun and avoids at all costs as it will one-shot you. Also, there is a time in the fight wherein Gluttony will do an area of effect attack that shoots snowballs in random directions. Gluttony is somehow elevated, and there are corners where you can hide from this attack, or you can simply grapple into high places to avoid this attack. Finally, since you are doing the one-shot mechanic, the other members of the team should focus on DPS, and the best Descendants to do this are a boss killer Lepic, a critical support Enzo, and even a massacre Glay. I am not saying that other Descendant can't be good in this fight, but so far, this is the meta that I always see in the Gluttony boss fight. It's best that you find a dedicated team in the chat, as you might end up going with a full Valby squad in random public matches intended only to avoid the squad wipe mechanic. Moving on, let me share with you another ultimate Valby build that is good also in void intercept missions. Only this time you won't be just a support or utility Descendant, but you will be one of the main DPS in the team. With the help of the supply and moisture skill module, my Thunder Cage can have almost 80% critical hit chance while standing in the water with Valby. This means that my submachine gun is almost always hitting critical hits against enemies, dealing 40,000 to 50,000 average damage on body hits, and can go over 80,000 to 100,000 damage per hit on weak spots of bosses. The best part is, all I needed for this build was to add duration modules and skill cooldown, so I could always cast my abilities, and there's always water in the field. Also, with all the health modules, my ultimate Valby is tanky enough to survive almost all hard mode intercept bosses except for Gluttony, as he can still deal massive damage even with the amount of health I have. Finally, let's talk about the Valby run build. This mainly focuses on farming Kuiper shards and gold in the Fortress Outpost mission in hard mode. I can have 175,000 gold and 9,000 Kuiper shards in an average of 3 minutes run with this build. Not to mention that I also get tons of reactors and weapons, and there are instances sometimes wherein this specific region hosts the best in slot reactor for a Descendant, which makes it even a good farming spot. Admittedly, this Valby run build needs a lot of work, but it will suffice for now. I am solo running the Fortress Outpost mission right now, as I don't want to bother Sharon players doing the amorphous farm. The supply moisture does help a lot, especially since I can also melt the health of the boss quickly with my insane critical Thunder Cage build. Also, when stepping in the water, the critical hit chance of your skill ramps up to 25%, and try equipping all the critical hit chance modules in your Valby with supply moisture, and you will see that your skill critical hit will be at 76%, which will be an interesting build to see for ultimate Valby. For now, you can use your ultimate Valby in different ways with just spending 1 energy activator. I will pursue the skill critical build soon, but right now, go try out the builds I have showcased in this video, and I hope that you will have fun with your ultimate Valby and find it useful. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you again in our next video. Squad Leader, signing off.